Hello guys, this is Gautam and welcome to my real-time scenario 2. And in this session, we're gonna discuss about alerts and notifications. So we have a real-time business requirement, and I just want to go to that related business requirement and let us know the perfect scenario. So coming to the requirement is alert before 5 days of probation ended to manager. So this is the short line of the requirement. And coming to the whole business scenario, a to-do notification and alert to be sent to manager email when an employee working under him or her whose probation ends in coming 5 days. So I'm repeating in my own words, like a to-do notification in system as well as a mail to be sent to manager when an employee working under him, that means when an employee is reporting manager as a reporting manager, he should get an email when the employee's probationary period ends within 5 days, the coming 5 days. So within the advance of 5 days, an alert to do notification as well as the mail need to be gone to manager, reflecting that the following employee's probation ends within 5 days. So it will be a notification form. Coming to simple terms, what is alerts and notifications? Then you can define it is an action which is made so that an alert or a mail is gone to manager or the higher authorities to notify them about the certain action that is happened to the employee who is working under him. So in order to create alerts and notifications, there is two most things that is important in any alerts and notifications, that is coming to this easy system, you need to create the alert message first. Alert message in the sense what you want exactly in the mail to be, like the description, heading, what should be the exact matter in the message. So this should be gone as well as the same text into the to do notification as well as the mail. Though, so let us create the first thing, that is alert message. In order to create an alert message, we need to go to manage data. So click on create new alert message. So now we got the alert message configuration screen. Here we need to enter the data name. I'm keeping as probation date end, and I'm keeping the external code same as the name so that we can identify easily. Alert header in the sense heading of the mail. So I am keeping it as probation end date alert. And coming to alert description is where it is the subject matter of the mail. Like you need to tell that it is a description which briefs about the action. So in easy alerts and notification, there are some specific tags which can be used. Like if I am using subject user as a tag, subject user. Subject is generally defines if a mail is sent to briefing about particular employee. Suppose there is Sarah David and her probation period ends within 5 days, and a mail is sent to manager. Then under this subject user tag, we can see the name of that employee. That is Sarah David. So these tags are useful to brief the information more clearly. So here subject user defines the user, the employee name, which is sent to the manager with the form of this tag, so that this tag would be changed to the employee name when the mail is sent. That was a predefined action by SAP SuccessFactor. Now I want to write a description like subject user probation date ends in coming 5 days. So now we wrote the header as well as description. Now you might ask, what is localized header? Localized header is nothing but the same alert header. So you need to maintain the same header here also. And you might ask, what is localized description? Localized description is also the same as alert description, the subject matter of the mail. So we'll be maintaining the same here also. Now click on save. So this is your alert message. You can see the name is probation date and the external code is probation date end. And now the second most important thing you need if you want to send any create any alerts and notifications is workflow. In workflow you generally define the type of person to whom your mail to be sent or to whom the to do notification should be sent. So here I'll be in order to create any workflow, you'll be going to manage organization pay and job structure. So this is the command which we're gonna go to create a workflow. So now I'm creating a workflow. Click on create new workflow. Now workflow ID, it can be any ID as unique value. So I'll be keeping probation and probation end date, and I'll be keeping the name also the same. Remaining days is where if the workflow isn't approved, then it gonna be remained within the particular days which is mentioned. So we gonna leave all these things as of now. These are XCC users. Okay, this we gonna keep as because if you are getting a many mail when you are keeping any CC role and they gonna get the mail for each action. So on particular mail, if they are clicking on a link in that mail, it will be redirected to this workflow page. You can see this all workflow page, right? So now the clear requirement is a to-do notification and alert to be sent to manager. A to-do notification. A to-do notification in the sense this to-do notification. Yeah, this message should be populated to the manager in system also. So in order to populate that to-do notification to the manager, you'll be keeping as role and manager here. This step 1 defines the to-do notifications for the managers. Although steps 2 also define the same until and unless you have a dynamic group or a dynamic role. So here a to-do notification will be gone to particular employees manager. So this is done. Now an alert to be sent to manager email. So in order to send any email message, we just need to mention them in CC role. So now CC role manager. So now we have configured in a way that a to-do notification is sent to the employees related manager and the email should be sent to the employees related manager for the probation ended. Now, as for testing now, we're gonna keep my mail also. That is external mail so that I can get the mail. So I have kept my mail so that I can also get the mail. So let's just save this workflow and it is successfully saved. Now the third thing we need to do is we need to create a probation end date field in job information. Sometimes it may be created by default by other people or else we need to create the field. We need to check at least whether the field exists in job info or not. So in order to check the fields in job info as it is succession data model, you need to go to manage business configuration. Now let's go to job info. Now let's see if there is any provisionary end date field enabled or created. Hmm. So let's check whether is there anything. Yeah, now we can see there is a field already created. Probationary period ended. We need to say whether it is enabled or not. So I think it is just and enabled, yeah. So now the field is already enabled. So you need not do any changes to it. The field is enabled so that we can get the field in business rule. The final step is we need to create a business rule in order to send a email or to do notification to a manager before 5 days if the employee's probationary end date is coming before 5 days. So let's go to configure business rules to write a business rule. I'm just clicking on plus icon to create a business rule. And SAP SuccessFactors has defined a particular rule type scenario in order to maintain all the rules of alerts and notifications. So go to Employee Central Core and here you can see trigger rules to generate Employee Central alerts. This is the rule type which we need to use for all EC alerts and notifications. Now we need to create a rule. So probation and as the field probation ended it will be in job info, so we'll be selecting job information model object. Click on save. Now we're gonna write the scenarios. So the first scenario would be probationary end date value is not equal to null. Let me write the whole rule and I'll explain you the whole rule after writing. Is not equal to null expression and sorry, actually we need to go to the same one. Probationary end date current value is not equal to previous value. Probationary end date previous value. And one more condition we need to add is probation end date value is an on or after today. On or after today. Now in then condition, first we need to assign our alert message which we created in manage data and alert message. So alert message is equal to probation date, and this is the alert message which we created. Now as I already told, we created a workflow as our second step. So now we need to assign our workflow through which the mail or the to-do notification is sent on the basis of approval. So workflow information is equal to probation probation date. Now we need to define the months or days value. Like here the scenario is before 5 days. That means the manager should get mail before 5 days when an employee's probation end date is near to that 5 days. So the manager should get a mail if the employee probation end date is coming near to 5 days. That means before 5 days the manager should get the mail. For this set alert we need to mention as effective date to be equal to date plus. Here we need to define the days. How many days before or after the manager should get the mail. So I'm clicking on date plus. Base object should be always the field value which we gonna define. So here probationary end date value number of months. Now the business want before 5 days. So we'll be keeping number of months as 0 and number of days. Here we need to define the number of days. The main logic should be defined here is if you are keeping -5, then the manager will be getting a mail before 5 days of the probationary end date period. If you are keeping normal 5, that means the +5, then the manager would get a mail once the probationary end date is completed for an employee after 5 days. After completing, you'll get a mail after 5 days. But here, the customer won't before 5 days. It should be notified to a manager. So it always need to be a -5. So now we'll be saving. And now I want to explain you rule particularly. When probation end date value is not equal to null. When it is not equal to null, that means you need to understand if there is any value, there should be definitely a value maintained in the job information portal. This condition defines that. And job information model probationary period end date value is not equal to current value. That means if there is a previous value, like you can think there is a null in previous value and you are maintaining a value in probationary end date field now. So that means this condition matches where previous value is null and you are maintaining any data. So probably previous value is not equal to the current value. And again coming to and probationary period end date value is after today. That means the probation end date value is either today or after today. That means if the manager should get mail before 5 days, then probably this is after today only, because the 5 days matches here defines that the manager should get the mail before 5 days. So if all these three conditions is valid, then it should trigger the following scenarios. That is the alert message which is going into the mail, and the workflow information where the kind of approvers decided to send a mail or to do notification, and how many days should be the alert gone before or after. So this is the rule. Now we're gonna assign this rule in job information portal in manage business configuration probation and okay, manage business configuration. Now let's go to job info. Take action, make correction. So now we'll select the base object as we selected business rule in job information model and type of action here. This is the main important thing. If you want to assign any rule of EC alerts and notifications, you definitely need to use this save alert, because on saving an alert to be created, on saving the record, a job is to run and the alert is gone to the manager. In that way, you're gonna define the type. So always for alerts and notifications, you need to define the save alert one. So now probation. This is the role name which we created. So, so probation end. Now I assign the rule, and now we gonna test the rule whether it is working or not. So now let's go to an employee, David, and we'll maintain a probation and date value for him. So we'll go to David Bridges and let's go to his job info and maintain a probation and date value. Job information. I'm gonna edit in the same record. Now the job info. Yeah, we're gonna find here the probation period ended. Now we wrote a scenario where the manager will be getting a mail before 5 days when an employee probation period ends. So before 5 days, in the sense, if we are keeping the probation end date value from today after 5 days, that means 26, 27, 28, 29, 30th. So 30th, today's date is 25th. So 30th is the exact date of 5 days, having a gap of 5 days. So if we gonna keep 30th of the month, then the manager should receive a mail today. So we are keeping that here, and office location would be, we will be keeping some kind of location in order to save the record. Okay, now coming to other thing, we'll just go to workflow in order to understand you more clearly. We'll go to workflow which we created. Probation. Now let's schedule a job. Normally in EC alerts and notifications, what happens is you'll be scheduling a job, recurring job that will run daily at midnight. So in normally in real time, a job is scheduled at every night so that every night the job runs every day, every night. So whenever any condition triggers like before 5 days, whenever employee getting near to 5 days, that his probation period ends within 5 days, then a mail will be triggering to the manager. There are many employees in an organization, so it will be running. The job will be running daily. So as per dependent on the employee's probation ended, the job runs, and if the employee's probation ended is before 5 days, then a mail is triggered to the manager. So now we'll create job. So earlier, in order to create EC alerts and notification job, it need to be done in the provisioning system, the main system. But after recent update 2H 2023 and all, the job can be scheduled in instance itself. That made the job easy. SAP has clearly made the job easy because previously we need to be dependent on the main system, that is provisioning system. But now, due to the latest release, the SAP SuccessFactors has defined the job can also be scheduled in instance system through scheduled job manager. So scheduled job manager, job scheduler. So I'll create a new job for probation end date. I'm keeping job name as probation end date. Here comes the main type. It is alerts and notifications, right? So employee central alerts and notifications is the job type. Job owner, you can give any name, but in real time you will be keeping your name and specify a date. Last successful job run was December 25th, that is today. Someone may run this job, and I need just for one time. So I'm gonna select today's date, and I'm gonna select 10/9 or something. This is regarding the UK time, I think. Yeah, actual server is connected to that time. It may be UK time. And recipients, so if you particularly want any email to be triggered, a mail to be sent whenever the job runs, whenever the job starts and job fails, a mail to be sent to particular person, Then yeah, so I don't want any email as of now, but if you really want anyone to be notified with the job starting and ending or job failed or not, whether it is working or not, then you can keep your mail here. So now I'll be clicking on submit. Now I'll just simply run the job which I created. So this is the job which we created just now. So I'll run this job simply. Let me go here. So click on actions, run it now. You wanna run it now. So first we'll check the workflow. What we have done. To do notification to be sent to manager. So let us check whether the job is successful or not. View detail. See here. Job is completed and here it shows it took to do notifications created 4 emails sent in job info 2 ECLH trigger to do created 4 emails sent. This is the process actually. So now we'll check whether, so we tested for David Bridges, right? So now the to do notification should be sent to the manager. Let us check his manager. Who is his manager? Lisa Webb is his manager. So Lisa Webb should get a to do notification in the system. Let us proxy with her Lisa Webb. So now I'm opening her profile. Now open her to do notifications. Now you can clearly see she got a to do notification that David Bridges probation date ends in coming 5 days. That means I have kept David Bridges end date as 30th of the month. Now today is 25th of the December. I have kept 30th of December. So before 5 days in sense, from counting today, we wanna get 5 days exactly. That is 30th of the month. So before 5 days, that is today, the Lisa Webb, who is a manager for David Bridges, got this to do notification. So now one condition is successful, that to do notification is sent to manager of the employee. Now we'll check an email. So let us go back, become self, and let me show this. So normally to do notification is sent. This is done. Step one is done. Now the CC role is where the manager should get a mail telling that so and so employee probation end date is coming near to 5 days. Within 5 days, the probation end date gonna end. So here the manager, in the sense Lisa Webb is the manager of the David Bridges. So we can't go to Lisa Webb email or log into Lisa Webb email, right? So in that case, in order to test, I have written my external email, that is my own email, so that I also get a mail on taking this action. So probably if I'm getting a mail now, then definitely the manager should get a mail, right? So in that case, we can confirm that if we are getting a mail, then manager would definitely get the mail. So let us go to my mail and I want to refresh. So yeah, here is the mail. You can see Tessa Walker is the owner. That means the job creator. You can see, because in job we have noted a name Tessa Walker as the owner, who would get a mail easily. So here Tessa Walker, and you can see David Bridges. David Bridges, in the sense I told you, if we keep some tags like subject user, we have kept. So particularly if any alert is going, it will take the employee name in that particular tag. David Bridges, probation end date, probation date ends in coming 5 days. SAP success factor. So this is the mail. So now you can see the condition requirement is totally matched. To-do notification is sent to Lisa Web in system, and alert is also sent to manager mail. That means I have created a mail of mine as well as kept the manager mail. Since we can't log into manager email, so I have kept another mail, that is my mail, and I got the email. This means this verifies that the manager also got the mail, and she can see in her email. So David Bridges probation ended ends in coming Friday. So this is the complete scenario how we can achieve this by running easy alerts and notification job, and it is very useful in real time implementing for any customer, because probably they need any type of alerts in contact end date, work permit end date, probation end date, global assignment end date, many more. So in that case, alerts and notification plays a main role. So this was the end of the topic, and this was the requirement which I got into real time with the client. So I just want to explain all these things so that you can get a clear idea on what is alerts and notifications. Hope you found this video well, and keep subscribing the channel so that you get many more good concepts and good content. And that's it for the day. Thank you for your valuable time, and do subscribe my channel. Thank you.